Welcome to the Vineet Loya Show. The goal of this podcast is to share the knowledge and wisdom I accumulated from various sources, such as listening to amazing podcasts, or watching creative videos, TV shows, and movies, or reading insightful books, or having meaningful conversation with people in real life. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did while creating it. In previous episode, I shared Earth mindset to tackle climate change crisis. The E in Earth mindset is to invest in eco-friendly economy or green economy and divest from eco-harmful economy. The A in Earth mindset is to be aware of the events happening in your personal life. Be aware of your impact on your surrounding. Be aware of the major events happening around the world. The R in the Earth mindset is to reduce, reuse, and recycle whenever and wherever and whatever possible. The T in Earth mindset is to travel to different places because traveling can give a unique perspective into lives of different people, different cultures, making you a well-rounded person. The H in Earth mindset is to be hygienic by maintaining your physical, mental, and spiritual health, however you choose to define it. Apply these mindsets in your everyday life and do the right thing by playing your part to tackle climate change crisis by minimizing your personal carbon footprint.
Let's play a game. The next 5 strangers you run into, ask them what they would do if they have enough money to live the life they want. The chances are 4 out of 5 will respond that they want to travel and explore the world. This is not a coincidence. Exploration is in our DNA. And not just ours, but pretty much in every organism. The mobile organisms, which can float around or move around in the water or on the ground, whereas the immobile organisms, such as the trees or fungus, they move under the ground. And we can hypothesize that all of these species migrate or travel to find food, to find mate, to avoid predators, to avoid harsh seasons. And in some of social animals like dolphins and humans, to see friends and family. In fact, we also travel to explore the natural beauty of the world. Whether it's exploring a new place or getting away from current place, traveling will open up mind. Traveling will make you humble and grateful. Traveling will connect you to different cultures, different traditions, different realities. No wonder today the travel industry is valued over trillions of dollars, let alone how it creates more revenue for other businesses. With the modern means of transportation, traveling today is less time consuming than our ancestors. But the trade-off is the air pollution, which these machines expel. Don't get me wrong, back when the primary means of transportation was horseback riding or bullock carts or some cattle carts, the air was still polluted. The air was polluted with the shit from these living organic machines. Relatively speaking, we are better today than we were, few centuries back. And there is plenty of room for improvement. The era of fossil fuel is nearing its end, replaced by better sources of energy. These new sources will once again revolutionize travel industry. I think the electric vehicles will replace all the gas vehicles in next 2 decades. The big challenges during this transition will be mass adaptation, especially in the countries where buying power is less and investments into the already existing infrastructures like the gas stations is not entirely recovered. So the adaptation of electric vehicles is dependent on the price of the vehicle and how fast the gas stations will be replaced by charging stations, and how well the technology geared towards battery storage will become efficient over time. Although this transition is inevitable sooner or later, we have to be prepared to embrace this change. The other change the world will have to embrace is autonomous driving vehicles. The autonomous vehicles are still in its infancy stage, but it won't be long before the cars will drive itself, park itself, and even charge itself. And I believe this transition will happen in next 5 years or so. I'm excited about future where the cars will talk to each other and based on the data will update its drive plan, find the best route to the destination. And this will also reduce the carbon in the atmosphere, and above all, this will reduce the number of accidents on the road and reduce the stress caused by road rage. I can't wait to live in the future. I'm excited to live in the present timeline as well. We are living in the best time of human history. Well, at least relative to past few centuries. There are no world wars, more independent countries in the world, and abundant opportunities to travel to these countries or all the different countries. Traveling has never been this enjoyable and convenient. Today, we can plan the entire trip from tip of our fingers, from flight reservations to booking a stay or exploring things to do, and even communicate in entirely different language. This has never been easy. During my trip to Peru, I used translation app to connect with people when my lack of knowledge of Spanish was a hurdle to communicate effectively. Not just that, at times people even understand me by my hand gestures. This shows how similar we all are. Traveling to Peru opened multiple doors in my life. It was my first solo trip and first solo trip at least out of US. And during that trip, I learned a lot about myself. I not just openly interacted with native Peruvians, but also had good fun time with other fellow travelers. Some of the people even went as far as to pick me up from airport, showing their hospitality. Traveling shows how similar we all are. Traveling teaches that our journey is very short, and the most important thing to do is to treat people with respect. I got this love and care in every place I went in Peru. Whether it's hippie town of Cusco, or cosmopolitan Lima, or island city Iquitos, or on the top of cloudy Machu Picchu, or in the peaceful Amazon jungle. Traveling also shows the possibility within your own life. It's like a test to see how well you adapt to new situations. No wonder traveling makes people well-rounded. The adaptation to the situation or changing environment is the key to evolution and our survival. And when you travel to entirely new place and observe your body adapting to the air, to the water, and to the food. Observe your mind adapting to new reality with different circumstances, new people, different places, possibly different language. And traveling can fill your mind body with adrenaline rush, like the anticipation of exploring something new, or maybe even trying something for the first time. The rush of being in the present, like absorbing every single moment, because you never know if you will ever be back at that place again. Or the rush of capturing the moment and make it part of your memorable moments. To revisit it in the future. Metaphorically speaking, traveling is like a life. You are on a temporary journey interacting with various people and circumstances. You're gonna have fun time and challenging time. Fun time will enrich the experience, and challenging time will be a learning experience. If I were financially independent today, I would have traveled to different parts of the world and experienced the world from different lenses. In a way, it's like being in a virtual reality, because every location is its own reality. The natural feeling reality of the jungle of Amazon, or the hippie feeling reality in the town of Cusco, or the humbling feeling reality in the vastness of Grand Canyons, or the rushed feeling reality in the lanes of Mumbai. Every trip is a virtual reality of its own. Maybe traveling is evolution's virtual reality. So if you want to change your reality, you just travel to a completely different place and see how you act in that place. So next time when you take a trip, remember that in a way, you're tripping. So basically, traveling industry is here to stay. And that also means travel and transportation industries will add significant amount of carbon in the atmosphere. About 10 to 15% of the greenhouse gases. And that's not even considering the harmful health effects because of air pollution. This is one of those things which we can impact by making changes in our personal life. The 10 to 15% of greenhouse effect caused because of travel and transportation. It's one of the way we are directly impacting the environment. There are indirect way in the form of maybe like industries where consumers are not directly impacting, but the energy sector, like the electricity consumption, which requires burning of energy, and that emits its own carbon footprint. So like the coal plants which generate electricity creates its own carbon footprint, and the people who uses the electricity generated from the coal plant are in a way directly impacting, or one place replaced impacting the carbon presence. But driving a vehicle is the direct impact. You can start making changes within your own life. This is what my life looks like. I work from home on Mondays and Fridays. Kudos to my management for that. And on the rest of the 3 days when I do go to work, I sincerely try to take public transit. The train station is about a mile away, so sometimes I take a shuttle and sometimes I walk to the station. And whenever I drive, I try to avoid slamming the brake because it's not just not good for the car, but also burns more carbon. Of course, your life looks different than mine. Maybe you live in a place from where driving is the only option. Then you do what you have to do. If that means you have to drive to and fro from work, you have to drive to and fro from work. But you can still plan out other chores on the route so you don't have to make an extra trip. On the path of self-improvement, you create your own process while still doing the right thing. And that exactly is what having a growth mindset, a good mindset, a right mindset, doing the right thing mindset, earth mindset.
Thanks for listening. I hope you find our one-sided conversation valuable. Kindly share it with people in your life. I would love to hear back from you. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Vineet Loya. Also check out my website vineetloya.com. Enjoy rest of your day and stay peaceful.